because my son has autism and ADHD. And going through that discovery process is when you start to make realizations like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
About yourself.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. And going through and learning about that and then going myself to get checked out because I mean, like
You
wanted
have
to know.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, they did diagnose me with ADHD and they're like, oh yeah, you've got it. So yeah, figuring out my son and going through that process, going through all the doctors and all the research and everything, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, that is me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't go to the doctor and get like diagnosed with autism. Like, it just kind of like, you kind of know.
They kind of just go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just kind of makes so much sense because like, going through school, high school, even like my first like job, like after college, like in college, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same.
We're like,
Same.
oh man, like I don't want to get too much into stuff, but like back then, like I had this one issue at one of my jobs that I had, very corporate job, just right after college. And I remember I had disagreements with people and like just you kind of rub people the wrong way. And I always just thought, man, these people are just weird, and it's just weird because it's like, oh yeah, it was me.
Well, it's so funny that you say that was me. I had like the same exact experience almost. Like I worked at a call center. It was very corporate. It was after I had my twins, first like big girl job that I had, I think. And yeah, same thing. I had these people that I just was like, why do they not understand that like this is like not okay or like that it shouldn't be this way? And when I look back, I'm like, oh my God. Like it was me, it wasn't them. Like, yeah, there was definitely things that they were doing that like weren't good, but like normal people would be able to let that go.
Yeah.
And I'm not normal. So I'm like, yeah, that explains why I was like losing sleep over something that somebody else was doing.
Yeah. Well, and the job I had, it was like it was a sales job.
Yeah.
And I was like the inside sales and I worked a lot with the outside salespeople.
Yeah.
And, normally salespeople are very like, they're the cool kids.
Right.
Normally, they're the normal people,
right.
the normies.
Yeah.
And then like, when I was dealing with them, it was just kind of like, you can kind of sense there was something, but I did not know how off I was.
Yeah.
And like, I can only like think and from their perspective now, like just them looking at me like, dude, what is up with this dude? Like, like, I'm serious because like, I had no idea. And now, like I'm going through like therapy. Medication helps. When I'm not on my medication, oh my word, look out.
Yeah.
Like
I am unmedicated and it's a little scary for the world, but I feel again like I can't do it. I can't be like that leveled out because then I create my own chaos. And so like I would rather just create the small amount of chaos that I'm going to create in my own life unmedicated than not be able to have like the belly laughs and like the normal like feeling. That's just me that's what I prefer. Occasionally, like when I notice that I might be starting to go off the rails a little bit, I definitely medicate, but it's seasons, I would say. And that's just because I've been aware of it since I was 9. So you can't like be on medication that whole time and not have some sort of like dependence. And that's, I guess, another one of my things. Like, I don't want to be dependent on anything. I don't even drink caffeine. Wow. So yeah. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to take the medicine.
Yeah, stronger person than I'll tell you.
Oh, well,
it's
maybe just a little tiny bit more experience in like knowing that I had it.
Yeah.
Like you're relatively fresh to knowing that you have anything that's different. And so learning the ebbs and flows of that, you're going to go through different challenges. And I feel like it's safe to say I've been through a lot of those challenges at this point. Definitely still could be thrown a curveball, at which point we would reevaluate. But
it's so funny though, because when I got on medication, like I tried different medications. My doctor had me do different stages, like first the non-stimulants and then kind of like realizing after a year of going through all these things, these aren't working. To go into the stimulant modes and then finally settling on, like on Adderall.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think like, oh, you're going to take Adderall, you're going to be like, super crazy person, or like, in my mind,
I'm for you.
Right. Like I'm thinking, I'm going to be like, I'm limitless, and be like,
I'm going to be unstoppable. No, you just get to have one consistent thought.
Right.
You get to finish the whole thing. The train arrives at the station and like, that's one thing that I definitely do miss is like just being able to have one cohesive thought, but it limits my creativity. It limits like who I am, I think.
Does it really?
For me personally, that's what I experience. Like I can't think outside of the box when because Adderall and Vyvanse and, oh gosh, there was another one that I kind of like was on for like the last few years. I would switch between them to try and get like a different like mode, I guess. Like, yeah, that just like the creativity like kind of goes away. And so now when I'm not on it and I need the creativity for my lemonade business, I need it for my social media, it's so much easier to do personally.
Interesting.
Yeah, but everybody's different in how they operate too. So
yeah, I've heard that too from people. And it's like my experience has been different. Like I haven't had like any like creativity for me like stifled in any way. Like if anything, because like I do like a lot of software development and coding, and for whatever reason, it actually helps me to kind of like think more outside of the box for me.
Oh, I love that for you.
It's wild.
It's just purely based on like your chemical reaction being different than my chemical reaction. Yeah.
It affects everybody differently. It's
really crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that similar to how like what you were saying about your son, that's kind of like what made you aware. So I have two very young brothers. I have one that's turning 10 on May 23rd, and then I have my youngest brother who just turned 8. Wow. Yeah. So the 10-year-old was born when I was 18, and he definitely had autism. We didn't know, like none of us knew, because we're just kind of like, well, I don't know what to do. Like I've never seen this before. But we like paid attention to his tics and like the things that he was very particular about. That's kind of like what made me aware. And I was like, okay, I did a lot of self-reflection after that. Also TikTok also made me evaluate a lot, because everybody was talking about how they have autism. And I'm like, wait, I do that. Like, and I also have that and that. And so like, I just kind of like gathered everything. But then after this, I made my mom evaluate too, because like, she's like, okay, well, like your younger brother has it. And I'm like, I definitely have it. And she's like, I didn't want to say anything. I'm like, no, it's not. She's like, yeah. So she's like, and I'm sorry, like I didn't realize that like these things when you were younger, like I didn't wear socks ever. Like I hated, and I still hate, the seams touching my toes on socks. It was like my New Year's resolution back in 2022 to start wearing socks with my shoes. I know it's disgusting. I can't help it. But like that was like one of the things, like I would throw nightmare temper tantrums if I had to leave the house wearing socks and tennis shoes. Like I'm like, oh, I cannot do it. So she's like, man, like I'm so sorry. Like I didn't even realize. And then we found out that it can be hereditary. And then we started realizing things about her as well. And so it came like full circle to where we're just like, yep, we have autism. Like we're just here. But I think everybody has something. Like, you know, I don't think that I have met very many people that are not neurodivergent.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because when I'm not like medicated or doing anything like that, I would over explain everything.
Me too.
Like way too much information, like TMI to the nth degree. And
Me too.
and I just thought, okay, yeah, you need to know.
Yeah,
Like, you need to know this
everything.
Yeah. And it's like, no.
That is so me, like to a T. I say it all the time, but like once when I'm first meeting people, you're like, yeah, I'm a little shy. Like once I get to talking to you, like it is so hard to get me to shut up, because I just am like, oh, and then this, and I give them micro details about everything. It's like, we actually didn't need that.
Yeah. Or you get super like into your topic that you like, and you get like, you talk to them as if they're in the field, you know, like, and you're just going off the rails on like super like technical stuff, and they're just kind of like just listening. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like the eyes glaze over and you're like, oh, I said too much?
Yeah. You're like,
yeah. I'm like, okay, so next, like, how's your day?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was going to say, have you seen this show? It's on Netflix. It's called Love on the Spectrum.
Yes, I have.
Dude, I just started watching, like, I think the first episode.
Yeah.
I haven't seen all of them, but me and my wife were talking about it, and we're like, because she's a little bit on the spectrum too.
Yeah.
We both are.
Of course.
I think that's how we kind of like mesh.
Mine is too, just opposite of me.
Yeah. But yeah, I started watching the first episode, and it's just interesting because like some of it I was like, okay, like it was like you could tell that there was some autism, but at the same time you kind of resonated with some of the things. She's like, oh, I kind of like do that too.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, that's not so, you know, like it was just
it's crazy, because as you see it, you start to make more connections, you start to make more realizations. And I think that's like the beautiful thing about it, is like it is changing so much. Like I remember being in elementary school, and it was such like a frowned upon thing. Like oh, they have autism. And maybe that's just because I wasn't educated, but I feel like that was like kind of the general consensus. And now it's like I can openly talk on a podcast about having autism, being high functioning, and how I handle it.
Mhm.
And nobody is going to be like, oh, we don't like her because she's autistic, you know? And I think it's funny too because like you just get to throw a little sprinkle in there, like, oh, I say, oh, sorry, it's autism.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, that's so funny. And I'm like, yeah, well, you have to be
Yeah.
lighthearted about it because it's something that I think the majority of the world has.
Yeah.
And it's all different for everybody. Like how you were saying, you connect. Well, I look for it in people and it's always different than how I have it. My fiance, super smart, went to school to be an engineer, loves science, loves math. It's weird. Like it's, I've never met anybody that loves math and science as much, but I noticed that like that is his flavor of autism. He is like very, very passionate in the micro details of how things work. And like, I love that. I love that for him. It's beautiful. My flavor of autism, what pretty colors can we paint this? And like, how can we make this like super exciting and feel like a safe space?
Yep.
So, but those two things come together really well when you're building a life and building a vision. It's like, okay, well, we definitely know that he is going to create the mechanics of everything, and then I'm going to make it fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Like my wife and I are the same way.
Yeah.
She's more of like the math, the
Yeah, the
details and
mechanics, yeah.
mechanics, and I'm like kind of like saying like kind of glossing
Everything's
over,
fun.
yeah, like big picture,
Yeah.
that type of thing. That's so funny. My son is very into like the math, very
So is mine.
in robotics,
Yeah.
like totally like
Yeah.
can focus in.
Right.
Dude, he was cutting out some cardboard, and I'm like thinking, okay, whatever, he's cutting
Yeah.
out cardboard. And then he comes and is like this intricate thing like standing up, and it has like inner workings, and I'm like, this was cardboard like an hour ago. Now it's like a thing,
Right.
like just his brain, like that's his flavor,
Yeah.